In 1995, the movie opens with 12-year-old Isaiah in a private moment in his bedroom, holding a photograph when his father, Sidney, unexpectedly walks in, interrupting him. Later, Sidney returns to apologize for barging in without knocking, assuring Isaiah that he didn't see anything. He gently explains that what Isaiah was doing is completely natural, something everyone experiences, and he doesn't want his son to feel ashamed or awkward. Isaiah, curious, asks his father if he does the same. Sidney admits that it's common and that he sometimes does, emphasizing that it shouldn't become a taboo between them. As Sidney turns to leave, Isaiah suddenly tells him that he loves him. Sidney responds with the same warmth, unaware that Isaiah's focus had been on a photograph of him as a young man. Even during the family photo, Isaiah's gaze remains fixed on his father, a heavy, almost unsettling smile lingering on his face. Not even his mother, Joan, can draw his eyes away from Sidney, as if something unseen binds him to his father. Fast forward to 2009, 14 years later, at Isaiah's wedding to his wife Mariana. The entire family gathers for pictures, smiles all around. But Sidney stands out, his face taut with distress, as if carrying an invisible weight that no celebration can lighten. During the moment, Isaiah thanks his father for everything, sliding his hand down to his father's behind and touches it in a gesture that is both intimate and unnerving. Later, Sidney's wife, Joan, greets some of the wedding guests but soon heads out to find her husband, as several guests have been asking for him. She makes her way toward the backyard and, hearing faint murmurs, quietly peeks through a door, only to be met with a shocking sight. Sidney stands rigid and tense while Isaiah kneels before him in a way that suggests manipulation and control, leaving Sidney visibly distressed. It becomes clear that Isaiah has been exerting a disturbing influence over his father for years. Despite the horror of the scene, Joan forces herself to regain composure and silently turns away. The following day, Joan prepares dinner and asks Isaiah to tell his father that dinner is ready. Meanwhile, Sidney, an acclaimed poet, is in his study, typing a memoir on his computer, pouring out the years of abuse and torment he has endured at the hands of his son. Suddenly, he hears Isaiah approaching. Panicked at the thought of being discovered, Sidney hurriedly tries to close the document, but the computer won't respond. In a flurry, he shuts the system down entirely just before Isaiah arrives, casually announcing that dinner is ready. At the table, as Joan serves the meal, Isaiah offers his father a drink. Sidney refuses, tense and wary. When Joan asks for the same drink, Isaiah chillingly replies that it is for Dad alone. Joan and Sidney hold each other's hands, quietly expressing gratitude for everything they've shared. Isaiah, watching his mother cling to his father, feels a surge of jealousy and subtly nudges Sidney under the table with his leg. Later, Sidney finishes printing his memoir, titled Cocoon Man, Confession by Sidney, a harrowing account of the years he endured abuse at the hands of his son. While his wife showers, he carefully slips the manuscript under her pillow, hoping she will discover it once she leaves the bathroom. On his way out, Sidney encounters Isaiah, who claims the main house bathroom is broken and asks to use Sidney's bathroom instead. Sidney warns him that his mother is still showering and tries to stop him, but Isaiah insists he'll just wait quietly inside until she's done. Later, as Sidney sits in his office, he hears Isaiah's footsteps approaching. The door opens, and Isaiah steps in holding the memoir he had hidden under Joan's pillow. Terror floods Sidney's eyes as his son confronts him, reading aloud and even critiquing the writing. Sidney stammers an apology, trying to explain why he wrote the book. Isaiah, cold and calculating, turns to leave, warning his father that he will burn the manuscript, and that if another copy is found anywhere in the house, the consequences will be far worse than a simple reprimand. Shaken, Sidney deletes the file from his computer. In 2010, during a New Year's party that Isaiah and his wife had hosted, the celebration takes a dark turn. As Isaiah kisses his wife, his gaze drifts to his father, Sidney, who sits alone, visibly traumatized and withdrawn. Later, after the guests leave, Isaiah violently smashes a small mirror on the wall and lashes out at Mariana, sending her away and tells her that he will be leaving and return later. That night, Sidney tries to find solace in a bath while listening to a self-help tape. Suddenly, Isaiah appears at the locked bathroom door, calling out. Sidney doesn't hear him at first, but before he can react, Isaiah violently breaks the door down. Sidney screams in terror as his son attacks him. Joan, sitting in her room watching television, hears the commotion and her husband's cries, but she does nothing, raising the volume to drown it out, paralyzed by shock and fear. By the time Isaiah leaves, Sidney is left traumatized, physically and emotionally broken, while Joan refuses to look at him. The next day, Sidney attempts to sneak out with a hidden copy of his memoir, Cocoon Man, unaware that Isaiah is waiting in the sitting room. Isaiah confronts him, begging Sydney not to anger him. Then begins a chilling act of gaslighting, insisting that everything that has happened between them was mutual, blaming Sydney for initiating it, and claiming that Sydney has fully accepted it. Isaiah even asserts that their relationship could have been perfect if Sydney had removed Joan from the picture, though he is still alive and present. Desperate and horrified, Sydney tries to escape, running into the street, but is struck and killed by an oncoming van. Isaiah collapses over his father's body, crying out in anguish, and even urges Joan, who rushes to help, to stay back. At the funeral, the family and friends offer condolences, but Joan's eyes are now filled with a burning desire for revenge. After the funeral, Isaiah enters Sydney's office and goes through his drawers. He puts on his father's favorite shirt, trying to emulate him in a disturbing tribute. Joan arrives, confronting Isaiah about the abuse she believes began 10 years ago, when Sydney had locked himself in the bathroom after prom night. Isaiah feigns ignorance, calling her delusional, but Joan refuses to be silenced, labeling him a monster and accusing him of killing her husband. The confrontation escalates into a violent struggle. Joan slaps Isaiah, and he lashes out, claiming that he loved Sydney more than she ever did. Joan tries to gouge his eyes, and Isaiah pushes her away. She grabs a small knife and stabs him in the chest. In a desperate fight for survival, Isaiah attempts to strangle her and burn her face in the fireplace. Joan manages to strike him with a fire iron, repeatedly stabbing and hitting him until he is finally dead. In the aftermath, Joan throws the copy of Cocoon Man into the fire, watching it burn as she sobs, symbolically destroying the record of years of abuse. The movie ends. Thanks for watching. Make sure to like and subscribe for more recaps.